So the Fluff by Entertainment System. It's nice to see you today. Happy Juneteenth. Juneteenth, if you don't know, is the day that the last of the slaves in Texas finally got word that they had been free for like a year already. And it is a celebration of the end of slavery. It is a black holiday, and it is specifically like a black American holiday. Um, we're an African American critter, and we celebrate this every year. We usually do a much longer stream than what we actually have planned for today, which will probably actually end up being probably at least like 18 to 24 hours anyway. But normally it's like a 3 day subathon. It's not that because we got so much other stuff going on right now, and we just didn't actually have time to prepare for it really, other than the last like 2 days. Because life happens, life is complicated, and we have executive dysfunction from ADHD. So well, that's how things are. If somehow you're new here, we're Fluffbyte. We are a plural system. We use our personas to make a very hard distinguishing. We try to distinguish ourselves with our personas. We're also like Therians, so we're like super weirdo furries. Like like when we watch Nimona, we think about it as obviously the queer allegory that it is, but also like as a furry, like, oh man, I wish I could shapeshift all the time. That would be so cool. And then everyone would get their own form, and it'd be super awesome. We are anarchist, trans, queer, Chinibio, I guess. We've been VTubing since basically the start of the pandemic, and we don't plan on going anywhere. Although we've been leaning away from having so much of our presence be on like the most visible major platforms. We really want to get a fucking Neo Cities and start doing RSS feed type stuff, and exist elsewhere, because like the monetized major internet is like so fucking gross. And I mean, I'm sure everyone here knows it because of the enshittification of everything. Also, there's a kink space if you didn't get the memo and the trigger warning at the beginning, or you didn't see it on Twitch with the like little button. Actually, it's funny because if you've clicked on and agreed to watch a streamer that has like a mature rating on them before, then anytime you go there, it'll already be clicked, so you won't get another warning, which I think is interesting because there might be specifics that the creator wanted you to know about, and Twitch doesn't easily make it viewable again. I guess you could put in your rules. That'd probably be better. We should actually change our. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. Hello. We are happy to be here, and this is like a semi-planned stream. We have a lot in store. We kind of planned it meticulously because we actually wanted to do it justice for ourselves, because this is kind of a tradition for us. It's also Pride Month, but at the same time, just like during Black History Month, especially in 2025, we don't feel so jovial in a way. But also, existence is resistance. We do really believe that. So, like, still like living your life, living your truth, being visible, as much as it's valid to if you feel like your safety is preserved by hiding, whether that be being closeted or going stealth. Uh, we totally understand, but also, like, they're trying to make us go away. They're trying to make us hide. They're trying to make us die in a dark little corner. Not just trans people, like, well, I mean, trans people, yes, a lot of us, queer people, yes, and everyone else, black people included, and we really want to, in the way that we always try to, invite intersectionality, because we were trying to think of a name for the stream for a little bit, or like kind of a direction, because we know for a fact that most of our audience is not black. We have a diverse audience. We even sometimes have audience members from different countries other than the US. We totally understand that, like, there are diasporas and a lot of folks, but most of the people who watch us are white. And we don't mind being in community with white people. We aren't in any spaces currently that are like only for black people, whether that be like black creators, black furries, or something like that. And maybe we'll join one day. We haven't actively looked for more communities to join actively. We're already at the cap of like communities you can join on Discord without Nitro. However, I'm looking at my, okay, I just want to looking at my mic, I was like, if I'm going on for like fucking like 6 minutes already, I don't want to fucking find out that I was muted the whole fucking time, because that would be so fucking annoying. Also, thanks for being here, Banu, and it's super encouraging to see you, especially at the top of stream. That's like really awesome. I hope you're having a good day. This isn't our normal stream day, by the way, everybody. Usually we stream on Fridays. I don't know if we're gonna do a separate stream tomorrow, but it really depends on a lot of factors. Principally how long this stream ends up being. So we'll play it. We'll play it by ear. But this is definitely gonna be a stream long enough that if you fall asleep and you wake up, we'll probably still be going. Wow. Right, intersectionality and stuff. We generally like being in diverse places. We want to be in more diverse communities and stuff, especially when it comes to, like, you know, queer and like disabled folks, and, you know, understanding different folks' struggles. A lot of people have had visible frustration with having to, like, say, appeal to people of the out group that isn't getting oppressed, of being like, oh, this is gonna affect you, in the same way that sometimes there is frustration with people with more privilege not recognizing that privilege, or not becoming like anti-racist, or, you know, pro-trans, or, you know, whatever, until they have someone in their life that they care about and love personally that is of that identity. It's, I guess it's like the two opposites, where it's like, oh, you have to find someone willing to love you before they can respect you, which is fucked up, and that's not how things should go. And then on the other hand, it's like, empathy can't, I guess, glass half full, empathy can turn a bigot around, and everyone's gonna still have a bad taste in their mouth. And we think about that when people focus too much on, like, appeasing, say, all the lonely men that are so sad and messed up, and, like, why can't the left wing appeal to men more, like, you know, sort of trying to lionize, like, a group that has privilege and wants to talk around that as if they're the only ones suffering. The example of I guess not empathy, but the threat level of this could also happen to you. There's been stories of cis people harassed in bathrooms for being gender nonconforming for whatever reason, and it's starting to make a precedent that like someone can just go into a bathroom and accuse you of not being allowed in there, and people will stand around while they do violence against you or drag you out. You know, there are bathroom bills. There has been someone who has been arrested demonstrating. Like literally a trans woman went into a bathroom that was like a federal or like a government building's bathroom to in a very civil rights kind of way do like civil disobedience, uh, and was arrested for that. Like all types of people are getting affected, and on one hand there's a lot of people who will go, I hate that it has to affect cis people for them to fucking care. And I also feel that way. But on the other hand, there's also the, I guess for us, a big guiding principle: we're not free until we're all free. And that's going to be a big theme this stream, I hope. We are hoping to, instead of what we usually do, have a stream where we just talk at length about a thing and read a bunch of articles and all that stuff, and then we switch to games, and then we do games, and then that's it. We have a schedule planned out actually, and we do have a sort of a bigger scope sort of discussion presentation for Juneteenth planned, and we are going to talk about stuff. But we also have other topics planned to weave in and out. We're definitely going to need to make like a highlight version of this stream to like actually get across the entire thing, because trying to have that be something that someone can easily consume for the VOD, it will be a tall order, because asking someone to watch like, I don't know, a 12-18 hour stream top to bottom to get the full heap of it is that's kind of a lot. Maybe we could boil it down to like an hour or two main points or something. But you know, being here in the moment and discovering and discussing with us is also why being live is so cool. We feel that in the way that we want to celebrate our relationship with blackness and what we want to and how we want to involve that with ourselves and like with the community, is not in a way to just celebrate black people or black thought or black artists, but also to rope people in, I guess, to include everyone, not in a color blindness way, but it's like, you know, we are talking about in the title of the stream, at least on YouTube, like coalition building. And coalition building, if I remember correctly, because we've been seeing a little bit of thought about like not just like say protests, but also, you know, community organizing and how you get someone or people to want to participate in something like a workers union or a tenants union. And something that's really important is like engaging with someone at their level and for who they are or the context that you're in, before immediately launching into let's organize and like fuck shit up. You know, to immediately try to disrupt. Actually, the movie Sorry to Bother You shows someone community organizing in this way pretty well. Stephen Yoon plays a community organizer who starts working at the telemarketing place that the main character works at, and they all revolve and the plot revolves around. And we think that he's just like a normal person in the hierarchy, just another worker, another like extra, maybe not extra, but like another like a side character. And he's very instrumental in like not just getting people to wake up to class consciousness, but to organize and like argue for better working conditions and you know, keep pushing against oligarchs as things progress way beyond just the workers' rights of their particular profession. Um, but even in that film, which, you know, by all accounts is like a black film, uh, a comedy at that, a black comedy, uh, double entendre, uh, like Steven Yeun is not black, but he helped in the class consciousness of a workplace that had a lot of black people in it that also appeals to, or I shouldn't say appeals to, like telemarketing and like phone sort of shit, the like quote unquote annoying people that call you, who are mostly been replaced by robocalls these days. Like low income people mostly have those jobs. We will say from experience. And so like understanding that like we don't live in a bubble at all times is like really important. And so in that same way that even though this is Juneteenth and we want to celebrate, we don't want to just make this educating you about Juneteenth. The first and second years we did this, we did read the Wikipedia article for Juneteenth, and we will today as well. But we like read it top to bottom, and we like you know, talked about this and talked about this and talked about this, and it's still a good stream. But I feel like at this point, just dwelling on the history of Juneteenth and like Reconstruction and stuff is like also its own thing. But I want to also connect it to what's relevant today, and I think that how we interact with people like as leftists and like as people is also important. Like Stephen Yoon in that example from Sorry to Bother You didn't just launch into we should disrupt this thing. He like tried to get to know these people, try to understand like their problems too, and also, you know, like be in it with them because he understands the stakes, even though he joined the job to basically radicalize them, and he's not dependent on the income in the same way that they are. Like he is still like, you know, important, and we want to invite people to be part of the mechanisms that help people. And radicalism or like helping people is also important. It's not just like being at a protest and fighting and or demonstrating or, you know, civil disobedience. It's also food kitchens. It's also helping people out. You know, it's doing what you can. It's food kitchens and listening to someone who's on the edges problems, donating to a GoFundMe or something. Just the small things build up, and as we understand each other's struggles by also working and struggling together, we, at least on paper, will survive and resist for longer and more effectively. So for that reason, and also because we don't necessarily aggressively cultivate like a black or even like PC only spaces generally, we want this stream to also represent like our status as like where we are talking about like liberation, because we're not just for black liberation, we're for queer liberation and disabled liberation. And yeah, I just talked for a long time without really acknowledging acknowledging chat too much. Sorry about that. Also, I should have fucking mentioned my pronouns are he and they. Duskbyte again. Yeah. How will cis people ever recover? Right? I mean, there's the funny thing is like
Sasib Nui just subscribed.
Yo!
You are my little sock champ.
Thanks for being a sog champ, or maybe I'm your sog champ. I gotta switch it up for folks that don't sog. So I'll be your sog champ. Thank you. Happy Juneteenth to you as well. I really appreciate it. Every little bit counts. And happy Juneteenth, Specky. And also congrats on your new job. Yeah. We really like being here, and we're glad that we have been able to like keep this up in some amount of way. Our ADHD has really made us off track a lot recently. Also, we've been doing a lot of different kinds of art too, so stream has kind of been off.
Just
you
subscribed.
are my little sock champ.
Oh shit!
Come here.
Thank you for the subscribers. Wow. No, not a hype train. Thanks for the gifted Banui. Really appreciate that. Nice. Okay, it talked about that. Also, I want to talk about the tradition of our Juneteenth stream. That was actually what I'm supposed to talk about. I said all that without even like actually pulling up our thingy. This is our schedule right here. It was a crinkle bump intro, and then we're actually about to play a game. So I'm actually not about to launch directly into the big topic discussion. And when we do, if you feel like you can't handle like current events and talking about like, well, state violence and repression,
Julian Leroy 99 just subscribed.
Oh wow!
Come here.
Then that I will let you know when that's your chance to mute or jump out for a bit. We'll probably be going on for some hours once we start that, but I just want to give people a chance to choose their level of comfortability, because I mean, for full context, I think like 2 years ago for this, I literally read the fucking the notes that the fucking FBI sent MLK telling him that he would that he was actually hurting the civil rights movement and should kill himself. Like, we don't say unalive and shit. Like, it might get a little spicy. I'm not gonna try to be too doom and gloom, but I just want to let everyone know that once that starts, it's gonna start. I'm a sucker for hype trains. Capitalism wins. No ethical consumption under capitalism. As much as I will say that like Amazon sucks, Twitch sucks, exploitation, pay creators more, stop inshifying the platform, all that shit. Thank you. I helps us live. Fuck yes. Yo, Almond, nice to see you. Level 2, let's go! Wow, it's funny, because I also set my expectations low, which is why we didn't make this stream a subathon, even though we usually make this stream one. Oh, Lilith is a mom type. Okay, I guess I am a male. I can, yeah. Thank you. The master's tools will not dismantle the master's house, but the master's food will keep me alive long enough to dismantle that house. Well, for us to just collectively, food in our mouths helps us all be able to have the energy to actually dismantle the house. Reminds me of when we used to live at a place where we couldn't afford to eat all the time, so sometimes we would literally have to steal food from our roommates, and our fucking justification for it was, well, if I don't have energy to stream and do what I do for money, that I can't actually make rent. So if I'm just like, if I start being malnourished and pass out and I can't do shit, then I'll replace the food later. You know, hand to mouth sometimes. Things aren't that bad. We are I will have to say, we are housing secure and we are food secure. Don't worry about that. Actually, it's felt weird because of how things are getting harder for everyone. It's harder to live, and we understand that it is definitely sort of a luxury to be able to like help creators out without it like hurting you in some way. And it's also understandable that some people do have some amount of disposable income, right? But like sometimes you want to use that on like, you know, a new video game to make you feel good, or a fucking boba after a hard day's work. Really fucking appreciate anyone who like like that money that you could have used for a small comfort, you use despite me giving you comforts for free. So I can't help but appreciate that, despite capitalism's levers being between the interaction. That is all to say. Thank you, and Colorful Cast. Welcome to stream. Okay, so we actually have we have a pretty big amount of games we could play for this. So the thing about how our schedule used to be with this is we used to make sure that we always played a Sonic game. We haven't planned to play a Sonic game this year, but normally it's like the one game, or usually the one-ish game that isn't like, look, black characters, or look, black development team. Because in our head, among many things, like, I don't know, JJK and Dragon Ball Z, there's a lot of black fandom around Sonic. So why not? And we like Sonic, and Sonic's cool, and Sonic is radical and definitely would support the struggle. And Sonic also hates the police. So, like, I don't know, it just feels like it makes sense. There's actually a game that's highly inspired by Sonic and Mega Man called Advent Neon that is coming out next month that we're going to play a demo for, but that's actually for later. I guess that's the equivalent of a Sonic game for this year. But the first game we're actually going to play is this game, Celestial Tier Lost World, which, interestingly enough, tells me that I might like it because I like Look Outside and Fear and Hunger Termina. So I'm just going to leave it at that before I let's just see what happens. It's a demo, and it should be interesting. I hate when people say, I never say unalive. It's not a trend or a meme. People do it so they can maintain and stay employed. My assertion that I don't say unalive is not that I think that people who say unalive are cringe. But I make a point. We try to make a point not to, though sometimes we do talk around certain words. Honestly, historically, we've been more afraid to say the words lowly and Shota more than we've been ever afraid to say murder or unalive or suicide. Damn, that shit was loud. But like, and we understand, but also we've been a YouTuber. Let me fucking. I need to turn this shit down. Okay. That's okay. We're okay. That's the wrong thing. Let's see here. Volume mixer. There we go. No, that's still those things. I should be able to look at... No, stop it. Stop it. Oh, maybe it's this one. There we go. Okay, where is this? Lost World. Okay, this shit was way too loud. Still kind of loud, actually, but like way more doable. Okay, so what I was gonna say was, I understand, but also am kind of salty because we've been a YouTuber and streamer and whatever for like 5-6 years at this point, and like we still can't monetize our videos despite the fact that YouTube puts ads ads on them and makes money, and advertisers make money from us anyway. Despite that, we still can't. So we generally don't adhere to some of the strategies that people use. And also, like, there's sort of like an efficiency thing. We try to think of like the Swiss cheese model, like how with COVID stuff you should do multiple things to make sure you don't get it, because no prevention is foolproof. So doing things like being up to date on your vaccinations and wearing a mask is like doubly helpful, and only increases your likelihood of preventing it. And I guess in a similar way, you can do a lot of things to try to either boost your content and algorithms, or at least avoid it being suppressed. And the attempts to do that, I think, are almost, in a lot of ways, kind of like when people glaze their art so that AI models can't use it. Because a lot of people complain that it makes the images look worse and grainy and stuff, and I mean, they do, but I'm not mad at the artists themselves for doing it, even if I think that for us, it's kind of a lot of effort. Maybe we would do some to like sort of maybe coalesce it into a style and like make it a purposeful thing, but like in general, getting into the habit of it feels, well, like we wouldn't have the spoons for it, and we wouldn't really benefit enough from it. Not even to say that those things don't work. I mean, they don't work in all cases, but it is some sort of measure that will definitely reduce the ability for AI to like use your work. In the same way, not saying certain words or being more family friendly, are ways that you can cumulatively help prevent or at least avoid your channel being suppressed or video being suppressed. But it's not foolproof either. Like, no one has a direct understanding of the algorithm, and anyone who tells you that they are probably working on survivorship bias for either themselves or whoever they're like projecting or talking about. That is to say, I'm not exactly I feel that I'm not in the same boat as the people you're complaining about, but I do understand why you're complaining. Though I think at some point, especially as a small artist, it feels nice to take up space and operate the way we want, even if it might work a little bit against like our SEO or discoverability or whatever. Oh, thank you.
Colorful Cast donated $10. Was thinking about buying a sub or two, but this way you get more of the cut.
This is true. Thank you. It even shows up on the little bar there. This is that's birthday money. The bar. See, like, it's not, we're not even like trying to get money for rent, thankfully. Whew, right? Really appreciate that, Cast. Awesome sauce. It is hard being a creator. And I totally get it. Although I definitely can't speak for other creators, because I'm sure that there are some people who probably feel a sense of superiority, especially if they have the ability to do that. Because, like, say if you are a creator who supported thoroughly on like Patreon or something, great. You don't have to be as beholden to stuff. We actually saw a creator recently talking about people who say that they can't make their art at all without doing like ad sponsorship reads, and he wanted to have nuance about it, but basically was like, the way you're phrasing it is as if you're kind of saying, well, you can't blame me, but also like sort of misleading the argument of art being this thing that they do to any degree for like not monetariness, I guess. I mean, it felt very guilt trippy at first, but apparently it was more like, well, if you present it to your audience, there is like that sense of parasocially guilt tripping them also. And apparently sponsors know this and literally reach out to creators and go, hey, tell your audience that it'll help you make ends meet. Make sure to emphasize these sorts of things, which ironically is some of the things that Mr. Beast has told people to say who get money or prizes on his videos, allegedly. Yeah, I'm really soapboxy today. I'm not even trying to fight with you. I'm just really excited to talk about shit. And I mean, I do hate the trend of stuff like unalive and stuff. TikTok definitely has a big hold on culture and vernacular and what we talk about. Look outside is fucking awesome. I told Knuckles to stay back because he's black. He said I'm not black, I'm an echidna. But come on, we all know Knuckles is black. Sonic the Hedgehog. Very true. I just encountered a lot of bad faith actors that are like, I'm not afraid to say suicide on my YouTube videos. And I'm like, wow, it's so cool that your growth as a creator isn't necessary for you to survive. That's true. I mean, I think a lot of people, you know, make it and they don't remember how it was to struggle, or they don't have a lot of empathy for that, you know? A creator we really like, we saw in a recent video was like talking about someone who was a content creator who had like died and was like, oh, there's a serious thing, but like, you know, boo-hoo, because content creator, and like was talking about how he doesn't do a lot of work specifically for the videos on that channel because all he has to do is talk for 10 minutes, exaggeration, and then send the video off to an editor who puts it all together, and he just has to upload it. And it's like, yeah, YouTubers have such a hard life, and it's like most was like we are like us are like in the top 5% of Twitch or something like that, or like the top 7%, and we are a speck in terms of like visibility or whatever. So like it's like a percentage of a percentage, and so many people forget that. And so many people think that when they say start a new account and they recreate a big following, that, you know, it's just like, oh, it's just this easy, not recognizing that their name carries weight and people move with you to other platforms, other accounts, even if they don't do it at the rate in which is the same as your like main thing or what you're known for. There is definitely a lot of spite. And a lot of fuck you got mine, or a lot of maybe just self-degradation, and maybe just not just punching down on creators that are smaller than them, but also like punching down on themselves and sort of trivializing what they do because society doesn't value what we do, because it just doesn't. Like, insanely so. Thank you. Appreciate that. We always worry about being understood. Also, let me know if it's still too loud. Pressing, I can't get into the options menu, but I can fucking start the game. I guess small miracles. It's still a little loud. Alright, cool. Oh no! I have to lower the volume once it fucking loads, since it's maybe badly optimized. Okay, I brought it down like a lot, so hopefully that helps. It's at like 10%. We like listen to you talk as well. Thank you, thank you. Oh shit, did I skip the thingy? I don't know, maybe let's just see what happens. I can't leave I can't leave them like this. This has some fucking atmosphere. Oof. I don't know if I can make it any further. But I have to. This area looks fairly safe. If I didn't know that was her ponytail, I'd swear that was fucking blood under her. I really like the sprite work for this game, by the way. Like, it's... I really do. What the... Introduction to battle. Understanding the HUD. This is the character that is currently being controlled. On the right is the character's health, HP. If it drops to 0, a new party member will become the leader. If all party members fall, then the party will lose the items they were in inventory at the time. There's a charge bar. Every time it fills, a charge is gained. The number on the right shows how many charges you have stored. The maximum is currently 3, but it can be expanded later on. There are commands that can be chosen. Each character has a base set of commands consisting of a basic attack, a special attack unique to them, a defensive option, and a set of more advanced tactics, such as moving to a specific spot or running away from battle. Okay. Introduction about I'm playing on controller, but it seems to maybe only have partial controller functions. I thought that was actually my it was telling me to press my like touchpad, but apparently it's spacebar. Introduction to battle. Accumulating charges and giving commands. When battle begins, charges will begin to actively get stored for every participant. Different participants have different speeds at which they accumulate charges. Everyone will move on their own while this is happening. Attempting to get an advantage will position you for the action they are readying. While charges are accumulating, commands can be given to the leader of the party. The leader can be switched at any time as long as there's another party member to switch to. The commands vary based on who is currently being controlled. Right now, only... Is it... I thought it was Jane. Is it actually Jake? Only Jake is available? Commands can vary in what to do and how they function. For example, there are offensive, defensive, advanced tactics, as well as item usage. Some actions cost charges, so keep an eye on how many charges are stored and how much the desired actions cost. I need to put a stuffed animal behind my back to prop me up. Alright. While the charges are accumulating, commands can be given to the leader of the party. The leader can be switched at any time. As long as there's another party member to switch to, commands vary what they can do and how they function. For example, they are offensive, defensive, and advanced tactics, as well as item usage. Some actions cost charges, so keep an eye on how many charges are stored and how much the desired actions cost. Performing your first combo. Now that you've learned the basics, it's time to put your knowledge into action. Use a common set of actions that can be done in an attack combo. Try setting up a combo by using the attack command 3 times on one target. This can be done with the X button. This battle system weird. I'm be real. It feels sort of real time, I think. I wasn't physically controlling the character. Like, I was trying to move the stick, but I didn't have control. So it's kind of like you run around, like a, I guess kind of like Disgaea? Not Disgaea. What am I thinking of? Grandia? Grandia. It's kind of like Grandia, I think. What the hell was that? What did I get us into? He's feeling more Jake today. I really have to spend an hour or two on my shitpost game. Fear and Hunger, Burger King. Oh my gosh, Fear and Hunger with like the Burger King fucking mascot shit from the 90s or whatever. I don't know if they still use the King mascot and shit. That'd be a weird horror thing. I'm surprised that someone hasn't done a horror Burger King game before. This isn't my fault. Keep it together. I can't let them see me like this. 24 hours later? Uzu and Taz still not have awakened. Hunger sets in. Oh, you know where they are, they're just not awake. Okay. Good, you two are awake. Save your strength. We'll be moving soon. Trask, I need you to try and locate any other survivors and send out a distress signal to the academy. Huh? What is that dank smell? Is Jake cooking? Whoa, there's no way that's food. I'm not eating that. So, what are you gonna eat? Look around, Uzu. We're not exactly getting 5-star service here. If you want to survive, trust me. Trust you? We tried that already, and now we're in the middle of nowhere. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be fighting for our lives. You don't deserve our trust. Look, kiddos, we don't know where we are. This could be the center of hell for all we know. Just know that without me, you'd be dead. Rotting away in the belly of these monsters. And if not, I know you'd find a way to get yourselves killed. So let's get this straight. I'm your only way out of this place alive. This fire here, I built it. It is the only thing standing between us and the creatures out there waiting to devour us. Be ready, because once we leave here, we will be attacked. My protection won't last forever. Protection? Come on, Uzu. Are you kidding me? I know you have a few marbles missing, but you can't deny it. I'm your only way out of this alive. I hate to admit it, Uzu, but we saw what she did to those monsters back there. What other choice do we have? She put the whole universe at risk, and now you want us to trust her? We lost our best soldiers because of her. No, I'd rather die than allow her to put us in even more danger. Besides, her cooking stinks. Oh boy. So, you giving up? It's true what they say about you, Uzu. You are a weak Forcelian. A real warrior would fight until they had nothing left to give. They wouldn't blame themselves for their own mediocrity. Whatever. I don't need this. Not from you. If you want to stay here and die, Uzu, that's on you. But if you want to get home, you should follow my orders and trust me. Trask? The path before us may be unclear, but our resolve shall light the way until we exhaust the fuel to guide us. We need you, Uzu. Anyway, since this is the safest area that I could find, I think we should make this our base. I did run the creatures I did run into the creatures of this world, but nothing like what were at the crash site. Whatever those things were, we want them away from us. While you guys were recovering, I was out gathering some stuff to build a shelter. Let's grab that stuff and head to the small workbench that I built. New quest. Create a safe space. Yo! That's what I've been trying to do all my life. I mean, those 360 BK games they made in the aughts feel like horror games to me, lol. They are pretty, how do you say, uncanny? They're very uncanny. The Token Race Kids are like the first ensemble cast I think when I see the term of the PCs, LMAO. Oh, you mean like fucking hobbits and shit? Yeah, I think her name is just Jake. I don't think I actually have anything to craft though. There's not a run button. Nope, there is. They just didn't map it. Okay, so I guess I'm keyboarding at least a little bit. Ah, I see. Comfort. How to play. Introduction to crafting and building. Making a shelter. Swap between the placement, edit, or delete modes. Edit mode with sub options such as edit, repair, upgrade, and move. Your first task is to build a shelter. Let's go through the steps of building one now. First, you need to build the walls of the shelter. While in place mode, select the utility category. Introduction to crafting. Blocks category. This is the recipes list. Each category has a special list of items based on what has been found or unlocked through research. Select the wall object. Introduction to crafting and building. You are now in build mode. You can use these keys to move the object around. You can rotate it. Building certain objects, the party member's stats can be altered. The stat changes are shown here. As an object or item is being made, the ingredients required will appear here. If there are enough objects in the inventory, they will appear red, and the object and the item will not be made. Use L1 and the D-pad to swap between materials or turn size mode on or off. Now that the object has been placed in the desired position, the material size can now be altered. Okay. A standalone wall that can connect to walls within a room. Introduction to crafting. Now that the walls have been placed, there needs to be a way to get inside. It's time to make a door. Makeshift doors. Maybe I'm supposed to make the door bigger? While Seismo is on, it can act as a filter or as a line to rotate the direction of the way it will grow or shrink. L2 and R2, then pull out and push. Okay. So, like... No, that just made another wall. But it's only showing me my controller setting, or my controller inputs for it, and not... That's sort of awkward. The freedom to build walls, however you like, given is given, but in order to create a room, there will be certain critters that have to criteria, sorry, that have to be met. A room must have at least 25 floors. I guess tiles. Be at least 5 tiles wide and long, and be closed in a closed, unfilled shape. Once a door is placed, it will automatically convert to a room. Once the door is placed, it will automatically convert to a room. Use the number inside the size, besides size, as a guide. Keep in mind that not all objects can change in size or material. Select the size function to change the selected to large enough to become a room. Interesting. I think I need to actually make more walls. Although, I'd love it if I could actually move, like, 3-dimensionally around the objects instead of just being able to turn them, which I actually don't know how to do on keyboard. Because they have not told me. I guess I'd choose what it's made out of. Okay. Because that is a smaller wall. Interesting. Actually, it's the same size. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I'll do one more. I guess we're about to find out if I do wrong, if it'll like soft lock me or something. Yeah, this definitely needs to be more intuitive. Reminds me of playing Core Keeper. That'd be an interesting game to play. Wait, are you gonna... It's a room now! It's a room now! Don't at me, it's a room! Fucking Christ. No. In the 90s Burger King mascots, there were like 7 kids. The No kid? Token race kids? They were like seen as poster children for corporations throwing a bunch of ethnicities together into a group and not putting any more effort into their characters. Ah, I see. Oh my god, I just looked it up. I know right now, I know what you're thinking. Is the only reason I associate the two casts together because they both have a black guy and a kid in a wheelchair? Yes, probably. It wasn't intentional, but yeah, that's probably what my subconscious is at LMAO. Well, to be fair, there's not a lot of video games where you get to play as a character in a wheelchair, other than Fear and Hunger. There's a game coming out that's very, very, very heavily inspired by Fear and Hunger. It also has a character in a wheelchair. There's the first, I was about to say The Purge. There's a sci-fi, Souls-like that the main character is in a wheelchair at the beginning of the game, but he gets some cybernetic implants and, well, he's not in a wheelchair after that. But he starts in a wheelchair. The Surge is what I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure. Placing a door to turn the walls into a room. Now it can be used as a shelter to protect you from whatever may come. If there are any ingredients left, a floor can be chosen if there are enough ingredients left. Otherwise, pressing circle will confirm your new room. A floor can be chosen at any time through edit mode. Honestly, if they tell me this is fine, I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm trying to figure out how to select the placing, because they said it was circle. It doesn't feel like it's circle. Oh, that brought the menu back up. R is important. It is a good letter. Huh? What was that? That was P. That's what happens when you pee, apparently. That's something that I can't do. Oh, because I'm still over here. God, speaking of pee, I'll be right back. I don't have my one true love today, so... consumed so much coffee already. It's gonna be a long day, huh? Ugh. All right. One True Love. Yeah. I mean, like, because of our, like, Bab Awakening, or I guess, like, okay, so in a very similar way to how, like, even, okay, so there's a lot of people who are like, I knew I was queer, I knew I was trans in whatever way, like, since I was a young age. And there's a lot of people who don't have that experience, right? And then there's people who sort of are in between, or in, like, in this gray area, where it's like, I didn't have words for it, but to some degree I knew. And that's where a lot of people are like, and I think that that's true about a lot of ways you can be weird, I guess, or paraphilias and whatever other categories of things you want to say. And especially stress the paraphilias because in the ABDL community there are many proud diaper sexuals, you know? And it's just like, in the same way that we had to, like, really stare our queerness in the face and be like, damn, I'm not straight, like, in looking at it, and have, it's basically like, you know, like having your heart in your hands, and you know the shape isn't the same shape as everyone else's, or at least as far as you know, because you haven't seen anyone else's that much. Maybe they let you touch it only with your eyes closed or something, and it's just like, it's supposed to be shaped a certain way, but it's definitely not. And then you finally understand what the shape's supposed to be, but then you don't want to compare it because then it would confirm it. And then once you finally do, you're like, oh shit. But then even from there, there's an amount of repression you can have, right? And at the precipice of that repression, when you're finally like, oh shit, this is me, and you're coming out of that closet, we had a very similar response. We cried in a fucking bathtub. We cried in the bathtub when we were like, oh no, I'm trans. And we also cried in the bathtub when we wore and used a diaper as an adult for the first time, and we're like, oh, I'm gonna be like this for my entire life. We thought those words and we knew we were. We knew there was no escaping this. It's just like, this is just how we are. Anyway, let's see if we can make this game work. Not there, not there, not there. Where's my cursor now? Outcome. Reduces staying faster at base and increases willpower and resistance with these objects. Oh, they're talking about the... I get it. Okay, nope. I guess it's made now. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. This should not have this should have been beta. This should not have been a public demo. It sets a certain expectation, and I think it'll set these devs have been making games since at least like 2015, by the way. Like, we look at their catalog, they have another game on Steam that's not out yet that has a demo, and they have a game that was available on Steam, but they, like, sort of delisted it. Well, not exactly delisted it. You can't buy it anymore, and they're apparently gonna, like, re-upload a more polished version of that game, which was like an older game. And all of these games, by the way, are all in the same universe, and they're like a fucking black married couple game development duo. They've been doing this for a while. They got a lot of shit going on. But I identify with the fact that they have a lot of fucking irons in one fire, because I think they have at least 3 games with demos up on Steam or Itch.io. We can't leave yet. We need to build the shelter. We have all the materials already. Okay, so I do have. I wanted to see if they will let me. Okay, so let me finish building around. I really love that we have been doing this for a while, that we aren't like, I don't know, we had a certain expectation for a game, especially with like the Fear and Hungerness, and while I was in the bathroom I was literally thinking, man, how embarrassing is it to like get sort of stuck on the building part and something that could maybe be described as a funger. Like, I don't know if the devs are emulating Fear and Hunger, because that could have just been algorithm, because that's just algorithm-y shit. I have no idea if they're aware of it. Though if you're making a horror RPG, a horror turn-based RPG, and you don't know about Fear and Hunger, how? I'm just gonna say how, but that's not being fair. Yo, what's up? Greedra? Is that who I think it is? No, someone completely different. Cool fucking Sona. Shape-shifting dragon. Dragons are awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to like call it your profile like fully. I was just like, oh yeah, cool. Love me other VTubers. Yo, what's up? Okay. Does this kind of made now? Please count as made now. The door is definitely there. So I'm gonna talk about black excellence, I guess, and not in a way to decry this game. There is, as we grew up, like this sense of like, okay, like this, not exactly double thinky way, although honestly kind of was, of this sense of we should support black creators, like black businesses, black infrastructure, you know, the works, right? But then at the same time, when black people create something and they fail, there is a sort of backbiting energy where we've seen fellow folks of color be like, well, what should have I expected, you know, in this weird way, like completely discounting the fact that it's hard. Like, everything is harder when you're a minority, especially on multiple fronts. But at the same time, even for us looking through games and stuff, there's a lot of stuff that isn't like super up to snuff. And we actually were going to test this game out, but didn't get a chance to last night because we had so much going on. And it's like, it's a demo, it'll be fine. And I hope I can get to some more combat with the full party, because I am really interested in this game. And I am thinking about the fact that what we know about game dev, from like an economic, like in that same way of like algorithms and stuff like that, of like being aware of like how to operate in the space, demos, because they also are often something that doesn't fold into the main game, and so especially for developers after a certain point of development, other than like a beta or demo build, like an early build, it takes a considerable amount of resources and energy to make the demo build, because it also is taking energy away from your main project, because it might not be built exactly the same, if that makes sense. But some folks are lucky, or they find ways around it, like by having like time demos where it's like the actual game, but you can only play it for a certain amount of time, which you actually see more with big developers we see. I remember PlayStation used to do a thing where you could play like the first hour of a game as a preview for if you had PlayStation Plus, for example. Not really free, but you get the point. But I think we've seen smaller developers do that as well. That is all to say that from a labor standpoint, it will take longer, and it could make the timeline longer for finishing your game to even do a demo, especially before the game releases. And then on top of that, if the demo doesn't impress people, or if you do it too early, like unfortunately this, a lot of people are going to be turned off. I really love the sprite art. I am interested in the fact that they have built a wider universe. Of course I'm fucking here for the fear and hungerness. But I'm gonna toy this for a little bit longer before we move on and see what we can see, I guess. And I think that these things happen within marginalized communities all the time. It's not just black folks, where it's like on one side of your mouth you want to support people that are like you, but on the other side of your mouth you're also have your own frustrations with how someone does something, or maybe you feel that because when someone fails more visibly, that it's like more of a slight at the community. We felt that way about an anime called Neo Yokio, which was made by Jaden Smith, and it was like, man, finally get a black anime. Watches it. Wow, this anime was really insulting. It had an episode that was low-key transphobic. Wow. Can't believe black anime. Woo! Rather go back to Afro Samurai. Lighting? You're gonna keep making me do blocks. I made a... Okay, is it not 4 enough? Is it not 4 enough? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be big enough. Maybe it's because I didn't finish it like they wanted me to, because I pressed escape instead of holding down circle to have had it built. That might be it. That might be it. The wall's actually not even coming up anymore. Escape's not working for me. Alright. I think that I gave this the college try, and we can revisit if they do another build. Or if I figure out a better way to do keyboard controls. Damn. Yeah, I'm locked. Alright. Let's read the page, though. Yeah, it's Jake. Her name is Jake. Jake Contour and her team of law enforcement recruits are on the chase to hunt down an interstellar rogue agent when they are pulled into a mysterious anti-universe known as the Void. They have just been made headmaster of the universe's largest policing force, the Academy. Jake's highest concern is to care for a stranded crew. When monsters start emerging from the void, she quickly realized not only are the lives of her crew in danger, but the lives of every soul in the universe. Embark on a perilous journey of survival into a dark, desolate anti-universe filled with mysteries of an environment bent on destroying you as you struggle to find a way out. In combat, Jake, Uzu, and Trask use their training in order to coordinate and execute commands in real time through the use of charges. Simultaneously, you give commands to each character in real time to defeat your enemies in the Lost World. Yeah, so they definitely are mixing turn-based and real-time combat. Like, that was very intentional. Alright. Maintain your sanity or succumb to the deadly horrors that will haunt you. Explore a psychosis-inducing nightmare. Harvest resources to build weapons. Cook food and fortify your camp to protect your party from the harsh environment of the void. The game has moments of gore. Also, if the devs end up seeing this at any point, you need some playtesters. I'll playtest your game. No shade. Happy Pride. Happy Pride-teenth June. But yeah, definitely need more time in the oven. But I also understand, like, sort of, and I hate it, that there is that pressure right now for us, especially, like, being an entertainer. Like, especially something like game dev that takes a long-ass time. Like, there is a fear of, like, not being able to sustain yourself. And, like, certain people do stuff on the side, too. And, like, I don't know how long this game has been in the oven for in the first place, but they have a couple of projects. So I'm sitting here thinking maybe this is also, like, you know, they're in a spot where it'd be nice to get that base of income, you know. I know a lot of people complain about, like, developers not keeping people abreast of their games as they develop. People took advantage of, like, Steam Greenlight, and, like, some people didn't ever intend to fully release games and stuff like that, and they definitely needed more moderation. And like, what was it, early access is way better, but, you know, nothing's perfect. And there's times where we've seen where a developer doesn't update for, like, a year, and people go, yeah, developer's dead. I remember that happened with not Fear and Hunger, World of Horror, with World of Horror's dev. So on top of that, there's, like, I see this as, like, almost a preemptive measure, because you're not making money from a demo, but, like, algorithmically, or, like, you know, statistically, like, a certain number of wish lists tends to correlate to a certain number of sales. So if you get enough eyes on it, then theoretically, then when it does release, well, you'll actually be able to make some money from it, hopefully within, like, the first week, first month, first year. Like, they're probably doing what we often do and spreading themselves too thin. I hope things get better. I hope that they get to completion. And I think that it's relevant to say that most video games don't get made, actually. Most games aren't finished. Most video games that have ever been made have never seen the light of day. Like, by sheer scale. Not to mention all the games that aren't available, especially legally, that a lot of people don't have access to, or too afraid to play because they don't know their legal rights in terms of emulators, and are scared that Nintendo will come to their house and literally slit their throat. Which, to be fair, Nintendo did allegedly put someone into wage slavery for the rest of their life. Their wages will be garnished for over millions of dollars for jailbreaking Switches. Like, it's fucking insane. So, like, I am reeling right now. So actually, I'm going to change directions, because this is actually a great way to segue into a different game that we're going to play later in stream, but I might as well touch upon it because it is sort of relevant if I want to talk about like, the struggles of game dev, especially if we're talking about, especially with today, like, black game dev and just marginalized creators. So I am going to show you a game that I actually didn't know until recently was a game from a black dev, and we're super excited to play it for stream, but then we were looking to see where the developers we wanted to see where the developers like, presence was online. Like, we were looking for, you know, like, Twitter, Instagram, that sort of thing, and they have a Twitter and a and a blue sky. And unfortunately, that one's a secret tool to help us later. This was the first post we saw when we found the creator of the next game I'm about to show you. Hey everyone, this is hard to say, but I want to be honest and transparent with you all. I'm currently burnt out and financially unable to continue working on Arcus Chroma. The game isn't where I'd hoped it'd be at all, and it's weighing heavily on me mentally. I've really given it everything I had, and your support has meant the world to me throughout the years, truly. Every kind word, every review, every bit of belief has kept me going far longer than I thought it could. For now, I'm putting Arcus Chroma on hold. I'll be focused on smaller projects to try and find joy in creating again, and I hope that one day I can return to AC with fresh eyes and finish it the way it deserves. Thank you all for sticking with me. I'm sorry, and I'm grateful. I'm not done yet. And no, I don't want to quit either. We don't want to quit. We haven't posted a real video essay in like, what, 2-3 years now? Like, we understand the struggle, and it's really hard because there's so many like success stories that float to the top that so many folks just, there's so many folks that flounder. Not every game we've ever even shown on our streams and promoted and said, yo, you should play this, you should support this. Not every game we've ever played has, you know, found a full version, found itself to like, you know, commercial success. Some of them just never got finished at all, and some of them maybe one day, and some of them are like years out without any word from the developers. Like 7 years. 7 years, I might say maybe it's abandoned or something happened to the developer. There is actually a game developer that we were waiting for their game and he died, and that just happens, you know. But like, it sucks. It fucking sucks, and I'm fucking pissed. This game is awesome. And I hope it gets to get finished. Let's see. It is this game, Arcus Chroma. It's fucking sick. Let's go. Actually, I need to plug in a different controller because I can't use my PS5 controller for this. I have to use my PS4 controller. So yeah, my stream intentions got reversed. Because we meant to play this way later. This is actually a fighting game, so this could take a little bit of time or as much time as I want. But I'll probably play with every character at least once just to show you the roster. Developer wants to put out DLC and stuff for it. Solo deving is hard, so I can only imagine. I'm assuming that he fucking did like the sprites and everything himself, but who knows. A lot of solo devs like are also doing like a bunch of stuff. I don't hear no sound though. It's not reading my PS4 controller. Also, I got no bitches. Options. Here we go. There we go. Music. No bitches. More like no britches. Okay, so... Oh, I can't exit. Okay, so... Go to... So many games are made in Unity. And the last patch was at the end of 2024. It says the game supports my DualSense controller, so I guess I'll try plugging that in. That's the PS5 controller. I guess we'll see. If I have a open port I can actually use. Let's see. Nope, not that. I'm not unplugging my fucking keyboard. Oh, was this? Yeah, this was in the PC, so I can do the chord that was the PS4 chord. Alright, let's try this again. This game I actually have played. We tried to stream it before and we were having trouble with the controller, and so we couldn't actually show it off. So we've only ever streamed the title screen. Looks good to me. It's a little extra sensitive though. There's the way you can play this versus other people is with Steam Play Together, which we haven't really done yet. We don't have a ton of friends that we regularly play fighting games with. We're trying to like do that again, but let's see. I'm just gonna go random. Let's go random for both. This is my duty. I will not falter in the face of any challenge. Okay, I am a cat with a big sword. Or a fox? Okay, also something you should know, this game does not have jumping. It's a fighting game with no jump. Let me know if it's too loud. I'm actually happy I can play this with the PS5 controller. I think it was actually the last update in December that they changed it, because I could not play like this when we tried it like last year. Probably around this time too. I'm getting my ass kicked. Ouchie. Jumping is for cowards and Spanish psychopaths. Specifically Spanish psychopaths? It makes footsies and positioning a whole lot different. God. Okay, first off. Oh, I can change the hitbox too? Interesting. Okay, so I'm got my fucking keyboard out in my lap because I now don't have to fucking double fist shit. And it definitely changes my entire way of playing a fighting game to take out jumping, so I have to get used to that. And we haven't played this in a while, so we might be here for a little bit. This is a perfect moment for some casual chatting. How are folks today? Juneteenth isn't a federal holiday, so I think it was, but now it's not again because of Orange Man. Oh, sorry, that's me being all protective. Because of Donald Trump. Ah, done already? You think someone would put up a better fight if they're losing their dignity and their wallet? Did she steal from me? Hey, ready to lose something valuable? I'm always on the lookout for treasure. Oh, yeah, she steals from you. Okay, there's a dodge button. Although sometimes you just don't want to say the thing. Sometimes it's not even that deep. every one of my actions is part of my conscious ideological and philosophical leanings. Although obviously I have a fucking subconscious. Although our subconscious is a fucking gremlin. Been making a custom Magic the Gathering set made around the Earthbound series. That sounds fucking cool as hell. I mean, it's really built for that. I guess that means what Ness would be like red blue at least. We just kind of randomly ran into this game, and this game is like $7 fucking. Like, for what it is, it's good. And I say for what it is, not even in a dismissive way. Like, this is an early access, right? I think. I don't know what the developer standards are. We can check later. We can go to the page and we can even see, right? But when we picked it up, like, for the purposes of playing a fighting game, especially because Steam play together in like parseconds of this. I'm not really mad of not like further development other than just like, you know, not more characters being added. There's another Black developed video game that doesn't have a demo right now that has a fair amount of play for people who are paying attention called 5 Force Fighters. It's literally 5 fucking characters. I think Skullgirl started with like 8. Like, having a small roster for the modern fighting game fan may be an issue, especially for a bigger developer. Like the Riot fighting game that has like fucking League of Legends characters. I saw a lot of fighting game people being like, damn, this got like not that many characters. I think it maybe has like 10, maybe. I think this one has maybe 9. But I mean, like, if the developer didn't tell me their plans and didn't say as early access, released it as it was, I wouldn't assume that it was like an incomplete game. And again, it's pretty cheap. They're not selling this for like, I mean, what I've seen the average like indie fighting game for like $20. It's cheaper than Rivals of Aether. Victory secured, but before I leave, Zanvia watches with sparkly eyes as a small creature passes by for a moment. Oh, I see. You're like a protector of like nature and shit. Okay, I can't be sure I'll actually get a character when I randomize, a character I haven't picked when I randomize. So I will only randomize my opponent now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm gonna play with Hitbotzer. Especially because Hitbotzer is literally from the smaller game that the developer is now working on. And that's also something to say, like, I want to treat this like even if they never come back to it, but at the same time with like hope in my heart that they do. And the fact that he's like still making games is also really promising. Was this character in the game last time I played? I don't think this character was in the game last time I played. I know it's a slime, but still. The protagonists of Earthbound are all non-black color combos. Blue, white, green, blue, white, red, blue, red, green, and white, red, green. That's cute as hell. I love how I just got a black colored Botzer, not even trying. I feel like I'm fighting a fucking a slime that hung out with the fucking characters in Dragon Quest. I'm fighting the strongest Dragon Quest slime ever. Or I'm fighting like Lord Sir Dorchi the 99th apprentice. You're a fluff by old head if you know what fucking game I was just referencing. But it's okay. We can make new memories too. I miss Magic the Gathering. I miss fucking card games too. Although turn-based roguelike games have definitely been very, very important to us. Ooh, damn, my fucking hand hurts on that one. I had to get in them grits. Oh, wipe me. Damn. I didn't even know I was getting changed. Slime tilts their head, looks around curiously, and then smiles. Yet, proud yet clueless about the victory. I'm gonna return to character select. I'm too embarrassed to play with Hitbotzer again right now. Okay, so I play with Hitbotzer and I play with Zavia. Let's go with Miro. I was about to call them Frog. Sorry, I'm Chrono Trigger brain. Oh, cool colors, cool colors. I need to put a secret squirrel in a fighting game. Although this character's reminded me more of like Samurai Jack. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep fighting slime until I win, I guess. We could probably see something. We could probably see something up one day. You have TTS. Oh, that's great. Oh, I thought that was me. That was me. I'm not gonna lie, I tried to jump. I tried to jump. The fact that you can't jump means that if someone's fucking zoning you, you have to rush them. You just have to rush them. Although I'm not exactly worried about being zoned quite as much. Okay, slime. Okay, slime. Okay, slime stumbles a bit, then notices something sparkly nearby, then shuffles over excitingly, completely forgetting about the battle as they inspect the object. Damn, I'm getting whooped by a fucking slime. Okay, actually, I'm not going to fight against slime until I win necessarily. I'm gonna take a break from having slime as my opponent so I can actually understand the character a little bit more. Let's try Seal. Seal seems cool. She also kicked my ass. But I'll play against Miro because I didn't get to see more of Miro's kit. That will be my way to solve that issue. Oh, it's not just Scribble. We're kind of all Commander haters here. There's no jumping, there's no... Well, maybe there's launching. Damn! Oh, you have a counter, Sekiro. Okay, so there's a sidestep. The sidestep is how you get out of corners and deal with fireballs and shit. I am now the zoner. Damn, I fuck. Is she gonna be my favorite character? It's not just because I'm winning. I do get a lot more control. Down, Froggy. Dies in its... cries in exclusively Commander. We love our friends, and we have friends that play Commander, so we will learn Commander. And we'll try not to be a whiny bitch the whole time. But we certainly don't prefer it. Like, especially after being very Yu-Gi-Oh brained and like liking having like smaller decks, like a nice 60 card deck or 40 cards for Yu-Gi-Oh, like, oh. Honestly, maybe Commander is the truer version of Magic, because how can you not call a Commander deck a fucking library? I will give them that. It really lives up to the name. Your deck really lives up to the name library when you're playing a fucking Commander. I will say. Yeah, fucking great. She's awesome. I love her. She is my wife now. My second wife. Let's play a character that have no feeling sores whatsoever yet. Transcolors? Alright, never mind. Damn, I can't believe I have feelings for this character now. Let's try Skullington. Transcolors. Gets in the fucking group chat. Oh my god, it's so fucking cute as it runs around. I mean, I like the very mature top hat it has. This reminds me of, was it Surgeroth or whatever? If you ever play Marvel vs. Capcom, the fucking green octopus ass thing. I think it's called Soft. It's like a fucking like has a Lovecrafty name. The size of the Commander deck is just there to make the deck less consistent. The format is in a supersize and improvisation. Yeah, that's definitely a different kind of game, I think, in a lot of ways. or at least it leans way more heavily into improvisation, because I think that playing a game like Magic or Pokemon or whatever has that element, of course. Shima Garath. Oh my god, wait. My controller is activating my is playing with my OBS. Let's see if that keeps happening. Okay. Seems okay now. I was scared I was gonna accidentally turn off stream or something. Oh, I can explode? Let's go! Ow, 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 ow! K.O. Oh, oh. The Mr. Krabs run. Makes me think of, like, well, I would say GLaDOS, but actually not GLaDOS, more Wesley. I think that's his name. It's not technically a grab move, but I guess it is. Presto, I win, and I am just getting started. Wait till you see my next trick. I'm gonna blow your mind. Mr. Number 5. Very cool, very cool. Go off, Boomfee. Maybe it can be a general card game group, could be a tryout. I'm guessing you guys are using TTS. Oh, TTS, Tabletop Sim, Tabletop Sim. I was like, TTS? I was like, text to speech? You can play Magic you can play Magic the Gathering and text to speech? I was just like, I'm just being stupid. There's some way you can play Magic the Gathering and text to speech, I'm sure. Let's see. Nosferatu. Let's actually do let's do some twinning. This goes out to you, Kiri. The weak shall fall. You are nothing more than another obstacle in my path. Oh my god. I was gonna say, why isn't there a fucking, Lich professional wrestler? And I was like, excuse me, The Undertaker. I was getting down to the wire. Undertake this! Oh my god, Undertaker, Undertale. Okay, that's our new chassis rune. That's the next chassis rune after the one, no, actually that's gonna be our next chassis rune. Our next chassis rune is gonna be Undertaker themed. Very good. If you're wondering what chassis rune is, chat, it is our, 3-month-long Delta Rune. It's Chassis Rune. Chassis Rune is our 3-month-long art challenge where we're trying to make as much restraint or chastity related Deltarune fan art as we can, as we continue to not play Deltarune until September. I'm gonna do a rematch. That was... Oh, we do have a round 3. We do have a round 3. Kind of grabby. Ooh, I was really hoping to build up meter just so I could get that coup de grace. Don't stand in my way. Power is the only true path to justice. This cube. Why does it never align the way I want? Dead. Sup, Root? How's it going? What happens in September? Nothing in particular. We just wanted to wait 3 months to play Deltarune while we focus on other stuff, because as soon as we play the new Deltarune chapters, we're gonna want to make content about it. And yeah. We got a bunch of we have a bunch of irons in the fire ourselves, so. And we always feel so thrown off by game releases, like we don't get to dictate our own schedule as much as our schedules decided for us by like video game hype sometimes. I guess I'll play with Slime-san. Red slime. If I was a slime, I'd be red. Let's versus Manta. Slime blinks confused, and when locks for is just aware of something. So I'm assuming this slime is cracked. I might be wrong. Maybe I just suck. But let's find out. Ah. Ugh, just barely. Ouchies. Damn, that really got me. Jeepers creepers. I'm wondering about height stuff. Okay, the slime can bow down, can duck, so there isn't I don't have to worry about it actually just hitting for your kneecaps, even when it's attacking high or something. So that's good to know for when I actually fight slime. Understanding your opponent by playing as the character that they play as is very important. Which is why, even if you don't play characters that are like DLC, you don't want to play them in other games, generally, if you want to be able to effectively play and defend against new characters, you have to learn how they work, and it's best that you learn from the inside, I think. I can't believe Slime is so clueless about their victory. Oh my god, it's fitting. The ankle biter is playing the ankle biter. I will bite your thighs at the very least. At least I'd like to think so. Let's try Unchid Nosferatu. Let's try ooh, a black and pink one. That's pretty cool. And I'll fight against the fucking armless Red Riding Hood ass character. Also makes me think of what's that game? Not League of Legends, Wizard of Legend. Monte crouches slightly, scanning the area for focus. That's it, preparing for something. I'm gonna restart that because I messed with controller messed with OBS again. Threw me off. Oh, okay. I feel like a fucking Ben 10 monster. This is the type of game you get like someone into adjacently from furries, where it's like, oh, it's not furry, this is like a weird alien monster. Yeah, give them that plausible deniability for a while, and then start taking them to fur conventions. Ugh. An inch from victory. That's definitely rematchable. Oh, that was still round one? Oh, right, because I restarted. I'll feel way better. All these characters are really fun so far. I'm dead. Ugh. Hey, that was a good fight. How about we call it even and find a nice spot to nap together? This is... I can't. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna explode. That's so cute. That's so cute. Honestly. God. Now I'm thinking about, there is a kink There's some kink shit where it's like, it's sort of like Ramona, the fucking the visual novel thing where it's like girls usually beating each other up, or like someone being abused but like punched and shit, like kind of like harder abuse sort of kink in a sort of like sexy way apparently. I say apparently, but my headmates are super into it. But I'm thinking of there is like something I would say is sort of adjacent, especially in like a sort of toon and furry sort of context, where it's like gets into a like one of those dust ball fights, and they like, you know, gave you some lumps and you have fucking stars over your eyes and stuff. Like it's like that coded. Like that is so coded with that, and I'm just imagining him standing over you, picking you up with his scarf and carrying you over somewhere, and you nap together, and just they wrap you in the scarf, and I'm so fucking gay. Let's see. I'm actually been waiting, and I was gonna play with either Ganko last or Curran last, because I mean eye patch. I mean, cause come on, eye patch. Ryona, thank you. I don't know how to pronounce shit. I stepped away from the shower. Did you do this in Dead Eye Compliment? Oh, sorry. I'll do it now. Banu, I'd love to have you as a fighting game partner. You make a great punching bag. Oh wait, said this was a remote play, right? I think you only need to own the game for someone to play with remote play with you, right? This is true. Let's see, I've played with everyone but Skullington, Ganko, and Kern. Bah! I need to work on my bleats. Damn, people are right. We literally just read our chat sometimes. Don't even fucking process. Like, oh wait. Sometimes we chat a little bit more. We have a little bit of tact, but sometimes we don't. Honestly, we're really rusty on synthetic compliments. We felt like we didn't have the right flexibility anymore. We really miss doing them right. Okay, I have to play Skullington now. I do really like purple. Like myself, purple. Also, because these are like, because all these fuckers are just so creature, like, okay, so hitbots are definitely like boy coded, right? And Zavina, I think, literally is she heard, specifically in her text. But like so many of these characters are so ambiguous. Like some of them don't even have like normal faces. I don't know, it's really cool. What can I say? Let's try versus Kern. Yo, Brown Kern. The future guardian of the world. Oh boy. The character I'm playing with will probably have a great time with Excalibur from Soul Eater. Oh my god, they're fucking Strider basically, alright. A ninja versus a knight. I feel like this was an episode of Deadliest Warrior. Why am I throwing ninja stars? Oh! Oh. They really tried to bait me into those fucking spikes. Excuse you. Ghost! Hell yeah! I did it without using my special meter. Do your headmates have a thing for cartoon slapstick? Unfortunately, I also have a thing for cartoon slapstick. There's like this whole group of like furries who draw like furry cub Shota of just them beating the shit out of each other, but in a cartoon way. It's fucking hilarious, but also really hot, which is funny. But I mean, like, who was it? I think Patricia Tatson literally did a video about how she has like a huge thing for Rambly the raccoon from that one mascot horror game, and it's like, I'm laughing, but also it fucking takes one to fucking know one. I am no better. I'm literally no better. Ooh, I like this one. Let's see. Honestly, let's try versus fucking Slime Bitch. Come on, Kirby. Indigo Park. Yeah. I should have said all of you. Well, I mean, I have historically tried to distance myself from littleness at least a little bit, and like, I don't know, I definitely fell into a little bit of the, well, I would say a masculinity trap, but it wasn't because of masculinity, it's because I'm like a protector of my system, that like, oh no, people won't respect me if I say that I think it's really hot if like my partner knocked me silly, you know? Which is stupid. But also like in that sort of marginalized way, like if you're thinking about protection and stuff. And just vibes. Although it is funny that some people are like legit scared of me for some reason. Or maybe they're just intimidated. I say as I die. Rambly isn't a life form. Rambly's a life form. Rambly's a weird, paranormal digital entity. Rambly's like a Digimon. But honestly, when we did, I drew like really fucking hard little art, or like pamper filler art. I'm gonna do a rematch on that one recently, and it kind of allowed me to kind of break out of this like weird thing that I had set for myself, that I can only present myself certain ways, and you know, I can't enjoy things I enjoy because people will think of me weird. Which is funny because it's just like something we picked up, honestly, from being black. So it's funny to bring it up right now. For me to bring it up, I mean. I don't know, I've felt freer lately. We all have. Which is a weird thing to feel. Like, coming into self-actualization and feeling better about yourself, and feeling like you can take up space more, while like everything's on fire and our oligarchs are trying to kill us with like no chill. Kind of fucked up. It's absurd, actually. Yo, what the fuck? It's a sword of destiny. deceptive love. Damn. It's like really like, nah, you ain't getting no hits in. I just got mollywopped. Am I really not gonna be this fucker if it, wow, I don't think I am. That's fucked up. I'm on the last character now. Haven't played against Zavia. I'm posing a battle between two opposing forces. Since this character is the logo for the devs, like branded the development team, and that is obviously the front man or front MB maybe of the of this game. I wonder if it's just like the sort of artist thing where you're using this thing to represent stuff, or if it's more closer to Asuna for him. Ah, rough. Okay, that's a grab, I think. I've been playing this for how long today, and I just found out how to grab. I mean, I didn't look at the fight chart or go to training or anything, so that's technically my fault. Round 3. Fight! Oh, that was so on the edge. Okay. Last one. I want to try fighting this fucking slime. I want to beat the slime once in my entire life. I'll fight to keep my friends safe, but maybe after a quick nap. This character is Vivi coded. Also, like, Wander Over Yonder coded? Yes, I mean Vivi from Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. It's weird to think about characters that are from a certain thing, but you met them in crossover media. Like, for the longest time, we didn't know Ness as the lad from Earthbound, but of the lad from Smash Brothers. Once I was in the air, it was over. Well, I got my ass kicked, and I will lose with dignity. That was fun, though. I'm glad it still works. Now that I know I can play this, on stream comfortably, or fairly comfortably, I feel nice playing this again. Maybe playing this with some folks. Maybe playing this in community night or something. Who knows? So that was cool. Boop. Try a remote match if y'all want. I think I'm okay for now. It's nice to also get my hands a rest. Also, we have so much more to cover. We haven't actually done our readings yet. Let's see. So I talked about the crinkle bump to the intro. Play RCS Chroma. Okay, we did that. Okay, so I want to show off a couple of games that don't have demos that we just want to like talk about or show like the trailers for. And talk about our relationship to them if we feel that strongly about them for whatever reason. Let's see here. Okay, let's go for this game. Kaijutsu Rider. Kaijutsu Rider is a fast-paced third-person hack-and-slash, anime-styled game where you play as one of 5 unstoppable heroes, carve your way through waves of monstrous enemies, and take down the Black Cross Conglomerate and save the world. Oh, it's supposed to come out soon. Well, Q1 is already over, but that was the intention. Oh, sorry, Q1 2026, excuse me. Does it have kaiju? I'm not sure. It'd be nice if it had Megazords. Are you fighting Slenderman? Makes me think of Gungrave. But like in a shell-shaded style. Very over-the-top rule of cool. Kamen Rider with a witch hat. Mommy. They did say 5 heroes. Furry bait, furry bait. I'm so here for this. I'm wondering what the other two characters will be. Very sick. Kaijutsu Rider. This is probably an older one. I do also like that it feels like it's fusing like anime manga aesthetics while also like American comic book ones, particularly with the sound effect hits. Yeah, this is definitely an earlier trailer. Omega Mech Animations. Mix of parries, dodges, counters, guard breaks, along with an arsenal of special moves, combos that obliterate hordes of enemies coming your way, and explosive high-speed action combat system. If you're watching this on YouTube or you're looking at the VOD for the stream, there should be links to all the games that we have played so far and the games that I'm showing off right now in the description. Claws. Oh, wow. Definitely is boy band material. Rookie cop turned vigilante motorcycle wizard. I love that it was you were a cop for like a weekend. That first game we played, with the fact that they were just like, yeah, they're law enforcement, I was just like, I want to suck my teeth a little bit. Obviously, you can play a video game where you're playing as a cop or like military, and it's not like it doesn't make you bad or complicit, obviously. And the same for like creating that stuff. But it just is so hard to make like justice-based heroes without making them in some way informed by law enforcement based on like our culture. Like you have to like actively unlearn that on one hand, and then also to sometimes to get like general audiences to not necessarily to buy in, but like some people feel like if they don't have some air of legitimacy to that character's justice, then it doesn't feel right, or they feel like obviously someone who is very strong of justice wants to like be a cop or whatever. And I do celebrate people leaning away from that thinking in their narratives and how they talk about stuff, especially stuff that would normally be very much like I guess propaganda coded. I would say that Super Sentai definitely has propaganda, can definitely have propaganda coding. They're literally like cop rangers. The first Black Red Ranger that got to be the Black Red Ranger for their entire run was within a framework of all the Power Rangers are cops. So I am not, I'm disparaging, but I'm also highly aware of the culture and how it affects me too. Vigilantes are great. I don't want to say vigilantes are great. Not all vigilantes are great. Vigilantes also include like hate groups. The Proud Boys see themselves as vigilantes, of course, because of superhero stuff. When we think vigilantes, we're thinking Batman, Superman, not fucking, I don't know, Warshock. When you think superheroes, do you think immediately to Warshock? I don't, but I used to. Ray makes use of his multi-form nitro caliber blade to unleash high-speed, high-damage attacks. Ansura, heiress to the Pharaoh Triad crime family turned B Street Yakuza enforcer, and makes use of a wide-reaching whip attack and explosive earth constructs to dominate the battlefield. Kaiba Yamabika, a wild Yakuza runner who uses bestial instinct to dance across the battlefield, carving through his foes. More incoming. 15 unique levels, over 25 unique enemy types, and 10 intense boss fights to push a player's skill and reflexes to their absolute limits. Yeah, so keep this on your radar. Like, for sure. I mean, we like mecha stuff, but like, you know, Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, that sort of shit, and character action game, sign us up, you know? Yeah, sometimes it still leaves a bit of an icky taste in the mouth. Yeah, for sure. Part of the reason why we're not super amped to play was the Astral Chain, even though we kind of really want to play it, but it's also just like, it's about cops who, whose power comes from taking a ghost's or like some type of spirit's power and like literally chaining them to him. It's like, what if police dogs, but even worse, and they were the main weapon? Okay, so let's look at Breeze in the Clouds. This isn't just furry bait. This is, I mean, if this, I don't know for sure. I don't have a signed affidavit saying that the developer of this game is a furry, but I mean, come on. Like, I really even want just a fucking demo for this. Like, we've been keeping track of this game for like at least 3 years. I didn't even know you get to make weapons out of clouds. That's so fucking sick. And we got a lot of different little furry body types. I saw, like, you know, I see some bigger body people. That's nice. I love seeing myself some fat furries. Breeze in the Clouds. Gosh. Imagine being a crime boss and you get beat up by him. Embarrassing, honestly. Jump, brawl, and command the powers of Weather is Breeze. A scrappy corgi swept into the world, into a world in the clouds where animal forces control the weather. Battle the elements with combo-fueled 2D brawling action as you accumulate the ultimate puppy power. Scrappy do looking ass. Yeah, those poses are so clean. Before the storm hit, Breeze was just an ordinary dog living an ordinary life with his best friend, Dina. But all that changed one night when the freak winds ravaged the town, awakening long dormant powers within the unsuspecting pup. Suddenly, Breeze finds himself whisked away to Tropolis, a strange world in disarray where weather is controlled and maintained by a squabbling bureaucracy of natural forces from across the animal kingdom. If he wants to find his way back to Diana, Breeze must harness his newfound abilities, master the elements, and fight the forces of pollution threatening to destroy the world. Oh, also has a fucking pro ecological message. Nice. Breezy brawling adventure. Take control of a clever, scrappy, and courageous corgi. Embark on a fast and fluid 2D action-packed adventure. Master the abilities of wind, cloud, and more as you battle against foes in dynamic, combat-heavy sequences. Use the elements to your advantage, unleashing devastating attacks with lightning-fast combos, ferocious finishers, and elemental transformations that bring new tactics to the fight. Gosh, you wrote so much here. Breeze will venture through diverse weather domains ruled by the fiercest natural forces. Icy wolves, water gun slinging platypuses. Platypuses? Platypuses? Whoa. And sulfur spitting hyenas. There's over a dozen bosses, each presenting a unique challenge to test both of Breeze's combat skills and his ability to adapt to their weather-based powers. Who's a good boy? Me. Join Breeze in uncovering the mystery behind Tropolis's turmoil. Take down the corrupt forces controlling the weather and teach the inhabitants that only by working together can they save the world from destruction. That's my entire point. That's the entire point. All the coalition building, all the political stuff we're going to be talking about on stream later, and it all builds up to that. We need to work together. We are not free until we're all free. Summon support characters to help you in combat and change the weather in your favor. Converse with a big colorful cast to gather knowledge. Solve problems and earn items. Hit smooth, breezy groove. Explore the clouds to the tune of a soundtrack filled with jazz, new jack, swing, samba, and more nostalgic sounds. Crafted by musicians with a love of classic genres and the world of video game music. Breeze in the Clouds is crafted by a team of animation-loving, video game-enamored artists, designers, and developers from around the world. And bringing Breeze to life, the team worked with a meteorologist to bring elements of real-world weather into gameplay. That's fucking insane. Now that's some fucking dedication. fucking sick as hell. Honestly, that's also something that I really oh, sorry, I'm not saying the thing. This is cool. Music, yes, all this stuff. Talking to a real meteorologist, that's fucking insane. But the fact that they were highlighting that they're, I mean, I know that I think there's a meme with like with Assassin's Creed and how they always open the game with a little disclaimer saying that the team is from a multi-racial, multi-ethnic, multi-religious backgrounded team. And like how people are like, oh, that's just your way of basically lampshading the fact that a lot of people would maybe find some of how they took real world examples of like biblical stuff as, say, blasphemy, or they might be coming from a anti-religious perspective and they're saying that they're not. Because someone who's more not loving nuance and doesn't care for that can easily go, oh yeah, they're just saying that to hand wave stuff. You know, a sort of cynic's view of the use and reason for diversity being even mentioned. But I'm thinking, and again, about like coalition building and supporting people and thinking about like us in this together and not just alone. Of the fact that I am showcasing this game because it has a black dev, and something we'll talk about more later as well is like, especially for how we first started, like looking at the looking for what we wanted to present to people on a game to uplift black people, right? What counts as a black developed game? If you have a game that has a solo developer and they're black, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know exactly. So like if we see a game that's an indie game with black characters or black coded characters, we've sometimes been like, hey, we noticed you have some black characters in your game. That's super awesome. We were wondering if you're a color yourself. And sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. And it's really easy to know that. But when you have a bigger team, then, you know, that's multiple people. There is a particular example we'll use later of a game where it was being tweeted, it was being hoisted as, you know, this is a black developed game, and it was on a team of, say, like 30 plus people, and there was maybe one, there was definitely a black person on there, but it was just one, I believe, maybe two. And it's like, does that disqualify it? I mean, not necessarily, no. But then there's other games that are like super black coded. One of the first games we ever played for our Juneteenth streams was a game that has a black character, has Afrocentric imagery, and feels very much in the spirit of like Afrofuturism and stuff like that, like folks who are like really about like the aesthetic that was reinforced with stuff like Black Panther, like the people who were really into that sort of stuff, Afrofuturism, it's in the name. Like it was like very much like, oh yeah, it's really cool. And it was Metroidvania. It was really interesting. Its name escapes me right now. Dandara, actually, I think it's called. And when we had made our like lineup of games for that first Juneteenth stream, and we advertised it, someone chimed into our like fucking Twitter comments and was like, yo, not all these games are black developed. And they knew for a fact already because they had actually had a fucking spreadsheet of games that they had confirmed were black developed. And when we did research after they told us, we were like, yeah, Dandara does not have black devs. And we felt really bad about not having done the research and just assuming. But sometimes it's like when you see something that's just like, you see it and you're like, oh shit, like there is an understanding. It's like, these are my people, or like, I guess the assumption that they are, because it was done in good faith. It didn't feel tokenizing in any way. Like it was just like, in our head, it was like, who else would have made this but a bunch of black people, was in our head. And but at the same time, we do want to elevate people of color, especially considering, as we've seen with developers that we've even showcased the games of in this stream, that, it is hard and is an uphill battle, and, people are doing stuff on the side, or, like really struggling to make ends meet, and they can't. Sometimes it's hard to make your game good and polished, and people are already not rooting for you because of your marginalized status, especially nowadays, actively so. And so, like, we try to appreciate and, make note of folks who are, like, in service of, elevating black people, even though they aren't black, and also other black folks. But in the spirit of that intersectionality, it's like, I think it's really important to bring up that this game that we're, like, highlighting because of a black dev, other people made it. It's not just this one person. And that's something we need to understand with, like, a lot of art, and especially video games and sometimes indie games, because there is a expectation that, like, some cool game is, like, literally made by just Toby Fox or someone like him. And even Deltarune has a team. So I want to keep that in mind too, because, like, we're a black creator, but we're also as successful as we are, for whatever that means, for whatever. We're only where we are because of the support of people who are in our corner, and not just other black folks, though. Black power, motherfucker. What? Anyway, last game I want to bring up. This is actually from a developer we have a lot of hope for, because we never finished his previous game that we played on stream. The mechanics were a little challenging and difficult. But the story was, like, really interesting. We were really invested with it. And it actually was taking us way longer than we thought. We thought it was going to be like an hour or two, but we easily ended up like 6-7 hours into it. Like, oh my god, I don't think we're at the end yet. It was a game that had, like, a lot of, like, the person's personal life in it, in the sense of, like, talking about their own like struggles and reflecting, like, their own, like, pain and stuff, and also, like, literally talking, like, the game's main character is also a failing black game developer, and thinking about how hard it is for people, marginalized people and black people especially, to, for us to thrive. Like, it is awesome to, although we are seeing folks like struggle and fail sometimes, we're also seeing people continue to push. And this actually, even though it says June on, I think, Twitter, the dev said that it's dropping July 1st. So we are really interested for this game, which is a card game roguelike deck builder, which is literally our crack. It's literally our crack. I remember talking about Breeze a long time ago. I'm super hyped for it coming out. It's really cute. Yeah, Breeze is gonna fucking rock. I'm sure it's been given a lot of polish, and they're just trying to make sure it's, like, in tip-top shape, especially considering, traditional animation games, like, it's not how it was when Hollow Knight hit the scene anymore. It's much more common now, but it still has a really nice style. Let's look at... Actually, I'll read it first, and then we'll look at the trailer. Kind Folks is a single-player PvE real-time deck-building card game. Play as one of 3 monsterfolk members of the Adventurers Guild in their quest to liberate the city of Kindsfolk's humans from its corrupt leader. Face challenges head-on as the orphan, outcast adventurer, dodge and buy your way out of situations as the affluent noble, or deliver an unrelenting barrage of combos with a feisty podalist. I think it's like punching stuff. Fast-paced real-time combat. A new twist on deck builders that requires efficient and creative decisions. Randomly generated maps, including events, artifacts, and encounter, will make each run different from the last. Over 250 cards to unlock and wield. Voice-acted characters. Additional levels of challenge await after clearing the main game. Okay, so you got post-game. Kind Folks is a fast-paced challenge experience, but with your skills, a well-crafted deck, and a little bit of luck, you will become triumphant. Maybe. Long ago, in a land unlike the one you know now, a war waged between humankind and monster folk. Humans rose victorious, and Ozma, a decorated leader, founded a city where both humans and monsters could live in peace. A city called Kind Folks. But after his death, a monster folk named Durlach rose to power and became its new leader. Their influence, fueled by human hatred, shackled and oppressed only the wealthiest and influential of humans. Shackled and oppressed only the wealthiest and influential of humans. Unwilling to allow history to repeat itself, the Adventure Guild assembles and steps forth to liberate kind folks from the darkness at its core. I think it was just written, maybe a typo, because it's like only the wealthiest and most influential of humans aren't shackled, I guess. Whatever. Will you and the Adventurers Guild be able to successfully defeat the evil in the deepest past of the city? I could just also be bad at reading. This has some fucking Adventure Time, like, visual art style DNA to it, which I am very excited for. Oh yeah, voice acting.
It's time. Go forth and release kind folks from the clutches of Darlock's tyranny.
Man, I want to play with Darlock, not gonna lie. Darlock can be my dad. Mug. Swing. Shield. Bear fangs. That's a big nose.
Shall we begin?
Zon the Noble.
This isn't over yet.
Boost of nobility.
This is an exquisite find.
Fire Emblem. Oh,
Wanna go 12
I
rounds?
see.
Time for some fancy footwork.
Kitty got claws.
No techniques left.
You activated my trap card. Risk it for the biscuit. Really cute character designs.
I found some
Even for the card art. I guess everyone has their own specific deck since you pick them specifically. You don't get to mix and match.
Kind folks.
Alright. Sick with it. Yeah, so be aware of that. Okay, so I wanted to mention, like... Let's see, also close this tab. Black Voices in Gaming. We'll look at the website a little bit here, but I wanted to highlight Black Voices in Gaming because Black Voices in Gaming is literally how we find a lot of this stuff, because like as much as there's plenty of people who like want to see more like people of color in games, like there's not a lot of people curating black developed games, right? So places like Black Voices in Gaming have formed to, well, make people more aware and sort of have a community to visibly uplift, well, Black Voices in Gaming. So this is actually where we go a lot of the times. Every like few months we go and we check, oh, like, yeah, you may see some games that we have mentioned before or have played. Breeze in the Clouds is here as well. It's not the only way we find out about these games, but I will say that not every developer is saying with their whole chest at the beginning of their like bios that they're a black developer. And just like for say VTubers, there's a big reason for that, because you know sometimes you're gonna get a lot of racism, and people want to avoid that. There's black VTubers who have like human white presenting models because they don't want to be harassed, for example. So like there's plenty of black developers who aren't in every space saying that they're a black developer necessarily. So there's also that part about it. But Black Voices in Gaming has been doing this thing for a number of years. I don't know if they've existed for as long as we've been streaming, but we've known about them for almost as long as we've been streaming. And I mean, they do good work elevating the voices that they can. They even had a section of the Summer Games Fest. They had like an hour-long showcase. We should post that in our Discord server, actually. Our mission, our goal in uplifting Black voices in gaming begins with addressing 3 specific ways in which Black game developers can survive and thrive in the video game industry. Narrative change, elevating the voices and contributions of Black game developers, showcasing their works on multiple large platforms, and showing the faces behind these projects in development. Power building, pushing back on systemic racism and pushing for racial equality and inclusion across the gaming industry. Systems change, confronting decades-long structural barriers and glaring anti-blackness within the game industry that prevents Black game developers from thriving. I think that's a really I want to hammer home that point. It's not just because Black people are making games, but not a lot of us are thriving, and that's important because if people don't have the resources, and people are under more scrutiny, and they have a lot more pressure, and they're more likely to have a lot more of lack of safety nets and all the stuff that hopefully if you're watching the stream you have some inkling of understanding of, other than just racism bad, that discourages people of color from even getting into stuff like gaming. There's even a developer that we'll be talking about later who's a Black developer who made some pretty cool games, one of which we'll be playing today, that doesn't make games anymore, partially because they didn't see financial success, and they did apparently get a lot of scrutiny. They made a game that had anti-racist themes, and a lot of capital G gamers didn't like that. Now, I don't know if she got harassed about it, but I do know that hearing a lot of negativity about your art, especially when you have a message and you do care about the art part of it, and you weren't necessarily trying to make hand over fist, you just you want to survive. It's really fucking debilitating, and I can imagine someone going, yeah, I've had enough of this, and getting out of games. People will get out of games for all sorts of reasons as well. There's a lot of people who work in technology that used to work in games or games media, but because of mass layoffs and just general instability within employment within the gaming industry, they just go, nah, I'll just program or code or whatever. Which, now they're getting replaced by generative AI, so that kind of... There's no escaping it, huh? But I'm glad that these folks exist. Let's see who we are. Black Voices in Gaming is a Black-led national 501c3 nonprofit founded in Oakland, California, committed to increasing Black representation and inclusion within the gaming industry. We are a growing and thriving community of Black game developers curating culturally relevant games centered on Black, Indigenous, and other people of color lived experience. Oh, that's also okay. So this is also something I really like. I didn't even realize, because there are times, especially when we were growing up, necessarily, that someone had melanin and we didn't know that they were, say, South Asian, right? And we're just like, oh, this character is Black. Same sort of thing with say Aladdin. We've known so many Black girls who grew up being Princess Jasmine was the only Black Disney princess growing up, but she's not Black, right? She's Middle Eastern, and it's just oh, right. And it's just even white people get confused, because I say even white people, especially white people, get confused because it's so easy to just lump multiple races with similar skin tones together. Not to say that we aren't still happy to see any sort of melanin. We felt very similarly with say Witch from Mercury, the new Gundam series, or it's not the newest Gundam series now, the Gundam series that had a dark-skinned protagonist, and we find out through like people talking about it in the discourse and stuff like that that it's like she's probably not of African American descent, but it's like we still felt represented in a way because, you know, BIPOC is a more BIPOC is in a way like LGBT. Like, I can say that I am like trans, right? But I'm not just in community with trans people, just like I'm not just in community with black people, right? So in that same way, yeah, it's cool to elevate BIPOC stuff as well as, you know, stuff specific to your particular culture. And I really like that they mention that, and that that's relevant to them, and that, you know, like indigenous people especially, for example, are also represented here, and that no one went, well, you need to go and make your own indigenous voices in gaming. This is the sort of stuff that we're trying to like reinforce in ourselves too, of not just being like it's us against the world in terms of like, say, the black community or something. Although honestly, with how diverse or how we move through communities, for a long time we have not been in a space where we even felt that we would build up some sort of like situation where we're only in community with other black people, and we need to put in more effort to be in community with white people. Generally, I feel like for a lot of folks that's just not gonna happen, because there's just so many white people, and white people are more likely to have capital and be able to support other folks materially in a lot of ways. Just, yeah. We're putting our money where our mouth is and excited to announce our Accelerator program and fund, which provides black game developers with critical funding and other vital resources necessary to produce and publish their video games. They want to help developers actually finish it. That's so awesome. And like, oh, I love that material support they're trying to do as well. Our history. Black Voices in Gaming started out as an event during the MITS Produce Showcase Guerrilla Collective during the summer of 2020. Yeah, so about as long as we've been streaming, just about. When Mix co-founder Justin Woodward was feeling very frustrated with the industry's response on supporting black developers during the social unrest after the tragedies of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. Raw Fury co-founder, David Martinez reached out to Justin for support, and they came up with the idea to amplify the voices of black developers by allowing them to tell their stories. IGN, Twitch, and GameSpot provided amplification support, and Raw Fury and Kickstarter provided financial support to make it happen. After nearly 2 years, Black Voices in Gaming is a non-profit organization aimed at helping developers succeed and have their voices heard. Like, honestly, like, Black Voices in Gaming is really what we needed. I mean, I don't even know how else to say it. They've, like, and when we actually finish developing a game, if we ever finish one, I mean, depending because of how fucking weird and faggoty our game is gonna be, I'm not sure if it would be a brand risk for something we create to be on Black Voices in Gaming, but one day we'll try. You can quote me on that. But I'm glad they exist, and there's so many games we probably wouldn't even know about or would have had a hard time finding if they didn't exist, and I'm glad they do what they do. Gotta head out for work. Have a happy Juneteenth. Thanks for stream. Thanks for hanging out. Nice to see you, Almond. It's always good. And I hope work is safe and boring. Wow. Okay, I think we're in a good place to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into the heavy stuff. Compared to what we're talking about, everything else was a breeze. We're going to be talking about some, whatchamacallit. We're going to be talking about some historical stuff. We'll be reading some of the wiki for the Juneteenth, the Wikipedia for Juneteenth, but we'll be reading some anarchist thought and some anarchist black thought on resistance and protests and stuff. We'll be talking a little bit about the No Kings protest, as well as more black developed video games and nuance with that. Yeah. Have a good break. Looking forward to misery. I'm hoping it's not just a giant fucking black pill I'm shoving down your throat. God, that has so many implications. Is gonna potentially be heavy, but I don't intend for it to paralyze you. That is not the point. But we know that sometimes it's hard. So if folks need to bow out for that, that's totally understandable. But yeah, we will be back after a message from nowhere, I guess. On Twitch, we may run ads because we won't be here for a little bit because of our bumper playing. But yeah, make sure you take care of yourselves, drink water, grab a snack, what have you. And if you have to head out for the rest of the stream, thanks for being here. Really appreciate ya.